Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So today we're going to be doing a bloom technique on a 12-inch square cradle board. So as usual, I've listed the colors that I'm using at the bottom of the video. So today is actually a little bit of an experiment. If you do the bloom technique, you would know that you go through a lot of paint. A lot of paint gets wasted, especially because when you're tilting the canvas to create your composition, that base paint that you've put to begin with, that's what's helping the paint to move around, and you need to tilt a lot of it off. So with this technique, sometimes you may also end up with a bloom that you don't quite like, or didn't really tilt the way that you wanted. So you end up scraping that paint as well, and you end up wasting even more paint that way. So I've been trying to work out if there's any way that I can reuse some of that paint in some of my future paintings. So what I normally do is when I do a painting, I collect all the runoff paint or paints that I've scraped off into a bucket. Now when you do this, you will end up with some dry paint within the mix, or some goop in that paint mix, and you don't really want that to be into your painting later on. So I make sure to mix the paint really well, and then I put it through a sieve, and what that does, it removes any dry paint that's in, or any lump that's in that paint mix. Now, depending on what colors you've been using in your previous pours, your base paint is most likely going to end up with either with a blue tinge to it or a pink tinge to it. So this one that I'm using has more of a light blue grayish tinge in this mix, but because of the colors that I'm using on top of this piece, I think it kind of worked quite well with it anyway. Now this piece has already dried. It has dried quite well. I didn't have any issues with it. Now while I love the look of a finished piece with a pure white base paint as my first layer, I think this could be a solution for using up some of that leftover wasted paint. So now that this has worked, what I'm thinking of doing next is maybe tint that base paint mixture to a more vibrant color. So maybe the ones with a blue tinge, I'll add a bit of blue, more blue paint to that mixture to give it a more rich blue color, and use that as my base first layer on the bloom and see how it goes. Or worst comes to worst, I will tint the mixture all black and use it as a black base background for my next painting. I hope you have found this helpful. Give it a go and see how it works for you. If it does, just leave me a comment. I would love to hear your experience on this. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.